Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Europa Universalis IV. Well, last time, we invaded Zimbabwe and stole all their gold mines. And I'll say that out loud, yes, maybe I should feel a bit bad about that. But okay, let's focus instead on the economy, which for once is looking really bloody good. And that's with me paying the army, it's a full cocking wages. I could make even more money if I wanted to. And speaking of more money, yeah. The problem we've got here is, these gold mines are currently not doing that much, because this territory is, well, a territory. We don't want it to be a territory anymore. We would much rather it be like, you know, a proper core state. So, okay. Step 1 today, we're going to be spending a lot of resources converting these towns into core territories so we can convert the territory into a state so we can actually start making some money off of these guys. And, yes, I suspect there's going to be a lot of cocky trouble locally because, yeah, culturally, religiously, this territory is very different to us. So, okay, probably best we keep an army nearby just to keep an eye on that. One advantage, though, would appear to be, yes, very cheap to turn these territories into core territories, presumably because, yeah, they're not particularly developed or something. I mean, even Zimbabwe itself, we could call that for only 11, so, okay. Get on with that, though. Oh. Apparently it's going to take a while. But yeah, we've got to do this. Basically, everything we've taken needs to be caught, and it's not even that expensive, so, yeah. Crack on with it, that's fine. And one thing to take note of, actually, if I could just boost my trade share inside this new Zambezi market, currently at 36%, yeah, at 50, I could activate that lovely propagate religion policy. And at that point, okay, that would make life much easier. But yeah, unrest basically across this entire region is 18 odd plus. So, yeah, there's gonna be some rebellions here. Which could be an issue because, you know, there's gonna be rebellions elsewhere as well. So, okay, here's the plan. I'm going to keep, yeah, maybe 10,000 men right here in Zimbabwe, just to keep an eye on the local provinces while they chill out a bit. Another 10,000 are going to march northwards back towards Kilwa, so they can, like, you know, stay nearby to deal with any rebellions in this bit of the world, because, as I say, there is potentially trouble going to be popping up here, but they're not just going to be sitting around doing nothing. Instead, it's finally time to, yeah, figure out what else is going on here, because there's all this territory floating around that doesn't belong to an organised nation at the minute. And previously, there was nothing we could do about that. But all of a sudden, we've got a cocky conquistador who apparently can explore this territory and figure out whether any of it's particularly interesting. Because, you know, while I do ultimately have dreams of far-flung colonies over in the Far East and whatnot, yes, possibly a good starting point would be literally expanding next door, so if something goes wrong, we can send in reinforcements to help out. Plus, I wouldn't mind having, like, some troops nearby to Agerana, because I've kind of been noticed that, yes, they've, like, eaten Mogadishu down here. We now border them. There could be trouble there. Though, yes, one other very important thing, the Great Lakes Market, which exists somewhere inside this region. So, if we go and explore and find the center of that market, we can send my last flipping merchant there to funnel even more goodies back into Zanzibar. Okay, so, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is, apparently, yes, now we're saving up some money, we can invest it to make even more money. So yeah, my natural harbour can be upgraded with 200 gold to make it an even better port, meaning, yeah, more local trade power, more money coming back to me, better and better. The downside is, apparently I'm about to be overthrown. By the merchants as well. And quite frankly, I feel like that's a bit on the unfair side. Like, you know, I've done a lot for you guys. So, this can be stopped if one of the following is true. Currently in a different disaster, or the merchant guild influence is lower than 100. So, okay, hang on, have I just given, like, too much power to the merchants? Is that the issue? Okay, I didn't factor in that, yes, giving too much power to any individual class was going to be a problem. And right now, as far as I can tell, I can't actually, like, revoke any of their privileges to reduce their influence, so... If I give influence to, like, other people, would that help by, like, diluting their influence? So yeah, if I just give the resident foreigners a bunch of, like, liberties, unspecified unknown liberties, 1, they'll like me more, 2, they gain some influence, 3, my absolutism goes down, still don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's fine, but yeah, they become more influential. So is that going to, like, adjust anyone else's influence? Because it's, like, relative. That does not appear to have done anything, no. So... okay, in which case I've got, like, a decade. But if they chill out a bit, they might stop, like, you know, rising up against me. Which would be good, yes. Though if I need to be, oh bloody hell. I mean, I could just straight up sell them more land, which would get me loads of money and also make them more loyal. But, like, you guys have got so many privileges. Yeah, you ought to be going up towards 60% loyalty anyway. Like, you get way more rights than everyone else. Why the cock are you the ones rising up? Okay, presumably, as they get more loyal, that'll, like, slow down or something. And if need be, we could just, you know, treat them like any other rebel faction. Or indeed just build an army and smash them around a bit. So, okay. I suspect there's going to be a fair amount of rebellion going on today between the new Zimbabwe territory and the fact that Mombasan is still annoyed about, like, everything. Okay, just something to keep an eye on, I guess. For the time being, though, 100%, I'm taking the upgraded port back in Kilwa. Oh, and apparently, that doesn't take several years to complete, it's just one of the instant things, so, okay, presumably, when a time ticks over, yes, we're going to get even flipping more in the market over here. Though, on top of that, okay, something's going on in terms of... why is there a revolt happening? Hang on, who's revolting on this occasion? You know what? I'll take some trade power in the Gulf of Aden, which presumably therefore gets funneled down to me by my trader. That's fine. But yes, I think possibly the Mombasans have decided to show up and give it another go. Didn't turn too well for you, like 5 years back, when you tried the exact same thing, but sure, why not? Though irritatingly, yes, they do just seem to be able to, like, bypass local defences and take Mombasa instantly, which is very irritating, because it means, yes, it's going to add, like, another debuff to their flipping separatist public order for a decade or something. Right, guys, how many times do I have to teach you this cocking lesson? Right, in we go. We paid the army on this occasion to give them a stabbing, chase them off, retake Mombasa. Everything's going to be fine. Oh, in other good news and or bad news, by the way, apparently my advisor just sort of went missing for administration at some point. Do we know what happened to him? Because I'm not sure what happened to him. You know what? I'm going to call this a huge win, because one of the cheapest people here reduces national unrest, which we have got a lot of right now. Welcome aboard! And straight away as a result of that, right, the previous peasant uprising that might have kicked off around Kilwa is now 100% not going to happen. So, all we need to worry about for the minute is, yes, the Mutapan separatists. So I've got an army down there to deal with that. Not a problem. Meaning, you, my friend, next month, once you just get all your troops back and whatnot, you could start exploring. So, okay, let's see if I've actually got this right here, which is, yeah, you can just walk into territory we don't really know anything about. And beyond that, can you just, like, keep it going even further? Like, how do you work precisely, my friends? Okay, so he's passed through Shamba here, and it still marks a question mark. He doesn't seem to know what's actually here. Though the trade goods map mode is showing me, yeah, what it's potentially going to be. So, Goldie is probably not showing up, though. Hilariously, grain is significantly rarer. Gems is good, too. Livestock would be fine. Slaves, irritatingly, is second most common, despite the fact, yeah, they're kind of terrible and not worth much. So, okay. Possibly you just don't know until you actually settle down. But arguably, much more excitingly, yeah, he still seems to be, moving right now. So, okay, buddy. Might be taking you a bit of time to do because it's like a mountainous round here. But it looks to me like you're heading into Terra Incognita. Oh, hang on. Hang on. We just immediately walked into, like, somebody. I'm really sorry. So, oh, hang on. Right, you're the people who live here. I did see this, yes. So, okay, when you enter a territory, there's a possibility some people are going to come and, like, attack you as a function of ferocity, aggressiveness, etc., etc. Now, presumably, we've got, like, superior military tech, so, yeah, we win, but this is going to cost us money to replenish, etc., etc. So, okay, we've discovered a new territory. Are we actually replenishing right now, or do we need to be in, like, you know, friendly territory for that to happen? So, okay, hang on, because I know replenishment is expensive, and also eats into manpower. So just check if we're actually growing. That was like 100 troops. Possibly replenishment is a lot slower in the event that you're not in, like, you know, friendly territory. Or indeed any form of territory where there's, like, roads, cities, etc., etc. The point is, we should just keep going in this direction till we find the center of this Great Lake trade node. And I think what might be going on here is, yeah, there's, like, stuff over here. People, that's... John, that's a lake. That's probably Lake Victoria, in fact. Okay, bare minimum, we have now confirmed why it's called the Great Lakes. It's because there is at least one Great Lake present, probably more than one. Okay, do not go into, like, you know, the Great Lakes or anything. Just keep going in this direction. We need to find our way to the center of this trade node so I can send a merchant there. That will make this all worthwhile, probably. But yeah, the odds of being jumped as we enter a new territory appear to be like 10% in this bit of the world. So it definitely could keep happening, yes. By which I mean it has immediately happened again. So, okay, we have been unlucky here, to be honest, yes. So, okay, keep on keeping on. We just need to find the center of this here trade node. Alright, 10,000 men seems to be enough for now. And despite the replenishment charges, yeah, we're still making a decent profit. This is fine. Slight issue though, we found, yes, a more organized society. Which we've discovered, but possibly we can't go into. No, we can't go into without, like, declaring a war on them, so. Okay, loop around in, like, this direction. That looks like another society right there. Okay, just keep exploring. The center of the Great Lakes trade node has to be around here somewhere. I should also be keeping half an eye on, yeah, territories up north, because it feels like small nations are slowly being consumed by bigger ones. Ethiopia is now pretty bloody big, though not that strong in terms of military, though ahead of me in a lot of, yeah, tech. And Adal is overtaking me in tech too, so... Right! Might want to focus on, yes, teching up pretty bloody soon, actually, because apparently I'm falling behind. Okay, possibly, yeah, that 9% chance is tied to settlers. If I decide to, like, you know, move in and try and set up a town. But if I'm marching an army through, yeah, at that point it's just a fair game. Everyone just attacks me. Oh, and here's fun. I could also drop money on, yeah, merchant navy. Meaning my ship trade power goes up significantly, so... Go on then, why not? Let's make even more money through trade. Trade is working out well for me so far. Oh, and bloody hell, the Marahan have decided to attack, yes, the Agerana. This is not a great time, guys. I'm gonna be honest. My armies are, like, busy, very far away. One of these guys are hanging out way down under here, like, you know, putting down rebellions or whatnot. And this guy is just desperately searching for a market, which exists somewhere around Lake Victoria, though we're not 100% sure where. So, okay, if I say no, I mean, technically, I've started wars that they've refused to come and join, because there's nothing in it for me. So, yeah. If I say no, I lose prestige, a lot of prestige, actually. It's not great. And also, they're not going to be thrilled about it. And I just spent, like, 200 gold on a little naval doohickey that was not ideal, because otherwise... Hang on. How much does it cost to raise mercenaries? I could send a mercenary army to back you up. That I would be willing to do. Yeah, you know what? That is fine. The free company is pretty cheap. So I am going to say, yes, I am going to accept. I'm going to take some flipping loans out to afford that, because we will be able to pay them back. That's not going to be a problem. Yeah, one loan of 79 gold. That is not that much. And then, yeah, I feel like we don't want to contribute, like, huge amounts to this or anything. Just a little bit. So I'm not, like, you know, sending in the Grand Company or anything like that. That would be excessive. But yeah, just the free company, that's fine. We'll raise you guys over here in Mombasan, because it's going to take you a while to get organised. And then once you, like, you know, get yourselves together and whatnot, we'll send you in and start besieging some of this nonsense. Because I'm concerned you don't actually have, like, that many troops. Like, at all. Like, you've started this war while outnumbered, on the assumption, perhaps, that I'm going to come and get involved. Though, I will give you, it looks to me like potentially you might just win, though it's gonna be flipping tight, mind you. Meanwhile, we're just continuing in this direction, and... okay, that's another nation right there, which I kind of thought we could just walk through, to be honest. Like, we've definitely just walked through territories we didn't own previously. Maybe that was, like, you know, while we were at war, so that's different or something. Oh, but apparently... military access is, yeah, something most nations are not particularly fussed about. So, you would just, like, give me military access, letting me march 8,000 men straight through your territory. That is remarkably generous, good sir. Right, so now we just march straight on through, and it looks like we are so nearby to the source of this here. Okay, that was just all the core provinces coming through, that's fine. So now what we do is, yeah, state up Zimbabwe, which is going to make a lot more money than it did previously. And as a result, over the coming days, yeah, there should be a big drop in autonomy. So yeah, at that point we'll start making a lot more money from these gold mines. They're going to come online fast. And there we go. Following turn, 50% autonomy, meaning every single one of these gold mine territories is generating... well, actually, no. These two are generating at 1. Why is Zimbabwe cocking worthless? Because, yeah, the others have got mine size at 40, the default, reduced to 20 by the fact autonomy is still at 50%. But, right, we've got a combination of devastation, abandoned ruins, etc., etc. So, okay. Zimbabwe is not making much money. The others are a lot more. Slight issue, by the way, which is, right, the Agerana have just come over here and decided to, attack my territory. Which I'm not desperately okay with, but unfortunately, yeah, the flipping mercenaries I've hired, they're not big enough to really do anything about it. Okay, thanks to the money we're making from the gold mine, hire another mercenary company, which will give us 11,000 troops, so once you guys are done being raised, though... how are we now losing money? That doesn't feel like that should be a thing. Like, that doesn't make sense to me, but... okay, so there may have been some financial mismanagement going on here. It's hard to say. Okay, just take out, like, one more loan. It's all going to be fine. We just need to deal with this army. Once it's dealt with, yeah, this war's going to be over at some point in the near future. Because with this army dead, these guys are just going to take the rest of the country for themselves. So, okay, it would appear their armies are retreating, probably to go and deal with that nonsense. So, okay, go and take this territory back, then start counter-sieging. So, okay, we've liberated the territory they took. We now move into Part A. There is another fight going on here, which on this occasion, you guys are about to lose, aren't you? Bloody hell, am I going to be stuck in a losing war here? I do not want to be stuck in a losing war. However... we have achieved our primary objective, which is we have discovered the market of the Great Lakes. I'm going to be honest, it's not worth that much. So right, finally, at long cocking last, my merchants are actually all going to be doing something. So yeah, they're going to mosey in that direction and collect the trade from that market. That is fine. So yeah, we now know we can basically just go into Terra Incognita as long as it's on land. My Conquistador can explore across all sorts of land, but he can't go into, yeah, Terra Incognita at sea. I think I need an explorer for that. So okay, I think we're also back into profit at this point because, yeah, we were probably losing money because you were replenishing troops. And now you're back to full strength. You'll be fine, though, I say back to full strength. At this point, you've also got to cross back to friendly territory, though luckily it looks like, yes, it's just going to be one fight in Shamba, then we'll be good. Then we can just go in, kick the arse of those guys together with like 20,000 men, and then wrap up this war. I also think we'd probably be well placed, yeah, coring the actual gold mines that are generating good money a second time. Because that's going to pay for itself in terms of the gold income, like, a lot. Though that will slow down, yeah, advancement in tech. And I'd like to hit foreign diplomatic. Because foreign diplomatic gets me, yes, cooking marketplaces. I'd like to build them everywhere. But yeah, I think this bare minimum, given it does not cost that much, and the gold is going to be a big amount of income straight away, that's probably sensible. Also, just out of interest, what happened to, like, the, you know, giant plutocratic uprising against me? I mean, these guys are still, like, you know, 100% influence, but maybe as they get more loyal, they become less interested in rising up against me. It's hard to say. Now, what I also wouldn't mind, by the way, is, yeah, maybe working my way up the coast and taking Mogadishu, because that is a very, very well-developed settlement right there, with some good anchorage, I believe, as well. Yeah, look at that. Good natural harbour. So that would give me, yeah, for relatively small amounts of land, potentially a nice little point of entry to sharing the goods of the Gulf of Aden, which is a much more valuable trade node than Ethiopia, so, okay, that might be worth doing, yes. Also, bloody hell, John, maybe, like, you know, get religious conversion going on, dear flipping dear, with a priority towards, yeah, the most valuable territories, and get them on side, given they're the ones we want to hold under all circumstances. Okay, potential problem, which is, right. These guys have come back in again. The Agerana sending in all their forces. Nice easy victory, but if they come and try and attack my mercenaries, I've got another 10,000 men waiting nearby to get involved. So, yeah, we can kick their asses with superior numbers. But when the time comes, I want to get something out of this war. I'm not sure I can get something out of this war, but I would like to get something out of this war if at all possible. Also, I feel like I may have misunderstood the whole gemstone monopoly thing. Like, I'm increasingly suspicious they just gave me 6.45 gold, and that's it. And then they just sort of had the gemstone supply forever. So, you know what? No, you don't get that. I might be taking that back. I'd rather be trading the gemstones, given the trader's making so much money. Okay, now keep a very close eye on, yeah, these armies here. If you decide you're going to try and sneak around the back of me, that's good. That means we can just send all of our armies in and, oh, you utter idiots. You're now cooking surrounded. So, okay, this guy has immediately decided he wants to go and siege Partey. No, he's moving on. Okay, bring the armies together. Send in everyone, though. Actually, there's going to be, yes, some flipping trouble here. Just send forward everyone, because actually, you know what? Supply limit around here is way more generous. Okay, at this point, he's on the run. And when we catch him, he's screwed. That army's going to be destroyed. And I think we're about to catch him right here. So he can retreat as much as he wants. But he's about to be outnumbered by a very, very large amount. So, okay. You poor bastard. This is not going to work out well for you. I mean, expensive for me too, I'll give ya. But, to bare minimum, yes. He's now been sent packing back to his territory. And is looking much, much weaker, though. I'm going to be honest, I wanted Mogadishu, but whatever, I guess. So, okay. I suspect we're not going to get much out of this war, but, bare minimum, yeah. Our main rivals up in this bit of the world, the Agerana, they're going to lose a lot of territory. And as a result, they're going to be a lot less scary as neighbours. This is a good thing. Though on the downside, Ethiopia's just announced I'm a rival. That's less good. Okay, I'm just going to go and kick the arse of this. Oh! Hang on. Hang on. What just happened? Right, so you got everything. And also you created a new nation here. And you decided that I was going to get... Oh, you know what? I think you gave me Partey. Okay, you know what? They've been fair right here. I actually get 2.5 gold every month in reparations. And I also definitely get Partey, which is good, because Partey... Hang on. You were a good harbour. And you're also part of my markets. This is great news. I mean, what's happening really here is, Ethiopia has decided it doesn't like me. But once they rebuild, Marahan's now going to be much stronger. And Marahan has got to be keen on me, given I just came and basically won that war for them. Like, when the time comes, I might need them to return that favour. And now we just break down the mercenaries. No trouble. You're already back up to full strength, my friend. You can just return south at this point. So yeah, I'm going to work under the assumption, by the way, hang on, do you need to be flipping a cord? You probably need to be caught. Most things need to be caught. Just core everything. Like, if you're not coring in this game, you're not doing it right. Oh, the disaster's back, by the way. That's good. Though it is going to take, like 15 years to occur. Oh, speaking of which, by the way... We can now summon the Diet, which provides loads of loyalty straight away, and if I just do whatever the Merchant Guild wants me to do, presumably that'll help them chill out a bit. So okay, you want Kwamea Bay to have a 20% or more trade power. Ah, hang on, you mean, the Adan trade node up here, which is very valuable, I'll give you. But yeah, right now we've got 8% of the total power in this node. Presumably that being the amount we're sending straight out of the node elsewhere. It's going to be difficult for us to, get too much more than that, because we're not, in that node. Though in theory, if I was to send my Protect Trader fleet straight up to, that territory, because it's very big. Okay, hang on. I'm going to say... Yes, actually. Yeah, just send them straight up there to Gulf of Adan, and you know what? Send the other guy, who I'm pretty sure is just dealing with pirates, to do the same thing. Just everybody up in that direction, and we'll see what that does to, this trade network. Whether I just jump up in terms of the amount of everything when we hit, next turn, or maybe when the boats get there. I'm not sure if the boats actually have to travel there first. No, I just dropped to 7%. So that's worse, as it turns out. And if I don't do this, then, yes, the flipping merchants are going to be really annoyed at me, so... Do I even own anything inside this? I do not own a thing inside this territory. Oh, never mind. I think the boats just needed to arrive. So, apparently, we did it. How did we do it? What's the current situation over there? So... Okay, the boats arrived, and we just control 23% of all the trade, apparently. Beautiful. These guys are now 68% loyal. So could you please stop, rising up against me? That would be ideal. But yeah, I think possibly the most productive thing I could do is send part of my fleet to actually go back to Zanzibar. But after a certain point, there may be diminishing returns. So actually, sending some boats up to Gulf of Adan purely to boost the trade that then is being passed down into Zanzibar, that might be better. Meanwhile, the rebellion we were 100% expecting has occurred over here, but that's fine. We have got the tech advantage, we've got a good general. I'm pretty sure we could just walk in and kill these guys. Ideally, before they're able to, do any damage to this gold-producing settlement. That would be ideal. Gosh darn it, they always get in and do, a tiny amount of damage before we're able to lock them down. Oh, meanwhile, over on Madagascar, right, stuff has been changing in that bit of the world. So, yes, last time we looked in... Right, territory, converting to my religion. Good. And yeah, all that's left now is two people who are allied with each other. So, if I want to go over there, I can. I'm just not 100% sure why I would. Like, doesn't seem to be a very good island. Like, the only benefit I could see is locking down a tiny number of natural harbours I could upgrade. Though, yeah, there's, like, plenty of other harbours I could just upgrade instead, dotted all around here. Like, this seems fine too. In fact, you, buddy, you have got a good natural harbour right there. You might be a good candidate for colonization. Oh, but I do feel like I've made the right decision with trade there, because now at this point, trade is worth almost as much as cocking gold. Like, trade and gold are just embarrassing what we're getting out of taxation or production. And yes, even though I don't really want to be picking a fight with them, there's not much I could do right now, apart from declaring Ethiopia a rival. Because if I don't, the game starts yelling at me, so... okay, I guess we don't like Ethiopia now for some reason. Though under the circumstances, yes, I think it might be time to start sucking up some bigger empires to the north. Oh, though embarrassingly... right, Ethiopia and Marahan are actually allied with each other. So, oh dear. Marahan, you're not going to betray me, are you? Hopefully, they'll both decide to turn on, yes, Adal first. Ah, but here's where life gets good. We can now hit Military Tech 5, which we should definitely do, because, yeah, that means, 1, we get a lot better, and 2, so we could potentially start, yeah, training some brand new warriors. But okay, for the time being, everything looks pretty chill. There's a nice balance of power up here. These guys are probably not going to cause trouble for me, because they're going to take apart Adal first, so don't need to worry about that. Ethiopia is a long way away, so yeah, I feel like under the circumstances, it's safe for me to go and do a little bit more exploring. Because somewhere down here, there's another market. I'm not sure it's particularly valuable, to be honest, because, yes, I've not seen, like, anyone coming from down in that direction, but I'd still like to know about it. Though, fascinatingly, yeah, the trade node around the corner in South Africa, it doesn't send any trade to us. We send trade to it. Or rather, we theoretically would do, but we're not, like, doing so, because no one's making us do so, because, as I say, I'm not 100% sure whether this market really exists. Like, we claim there is a market at the Cape of Good Hope, but no one seems to be there, and no one's sending trade there. Like, are we sure we didn't just make this up? Oh, and hang on. I didn't even realise this, but now I've completed the Gold of Zimbabwe, one of the next missions is the Uncharted South. If I complete that, I just get a colonist, even if I've not taken, like, any of the ideas that are relevant to getting a colonist. So, okay, well, that's rather exciting, isn't it? So, right, all I need to do is complete the mission above and discover the Cape. And I'm sending a conquistador down there right now to do that, just because I was curious what the cock's going on with this fictitious market that supposedly exists. So, oh, this is going to work out perfectly. So, all I need to do is, yes, create a giant pile of territory that contains 1, ivory, and 2, a workshop. The issue being, right, you need a certain amount of tech to build workshops. Also, I cannot but notice that, yes, as I've been moseying northwards, down towards the Cape and whatnot, no one's been attacking me. Like, for some reason, everyone was attacking me over here. Down here, everyone is so much more chill. The problem we've got, though, is not, like, 100% sure where the Cape of the Cape of Good Hope is. Like, does that mean the bit at the very bottom? One assumes it might be the bit at the very bottom. Like, is there a territory that's going to be called the Cape or something? I just don't know. But, okay, everything's fine. Don't worry about it, because I think in a matter of months... There we go. At long cocking last, we go to the next tech of diplomacy, and that gets me a marketplace, providing a local trade power modifier of 50%. So, yes, obviously, that we're going to be building in the big, gigantic, sexy trade hubs right now. Oh, slight issue, mind. The Conquistador died. Which is a problem, because now there's an army here that presumably can't can't actually, like, explore anywhere. So, I mean, it looks like they can make their way home, because we explored this much, but do we ever, like, find the centre of the trade network? If there even is one, because, as I say, there don't seem to be, like, any cities or anything here, so... Right, this is unfortunate. Because, yes, that conquistador was from a mission, so I can't actually, you know, recruit another one, so... Well, this is a problem. No, I tried giving them another regular leader, and they are not having it, so... Okay, now I just don't have a conquistador, so these guys can get home, that's fine. But yeah, they can't actually discover the Cape, which is probably somewhere round here-ish, I guess. I feel like we were so close as well. Well, you know what, game? If you're not going to give me a conquistador, maybe I'll just make my own. Because I can't help but notice, I've got up to level 5 administration. Meaning I get access to my first idea group and... bloody hell, there's a lot of ideas, yes. So as much as I would love to invest in trade, and a more cocky trade... Oh no. Looks to me like we're going for exploration, and as a result, the ability to train our own explorers and conquistadors. After all, the fact I am kill means, as we unlock ideas related to exploration, yeah, we're going to get a lot in terms of trade and whatnot anyway. But okay, in good news, yes, all my schmoozing with the beautiful sexy chappies up north here has paid off rather nicely. Because they would be willing to make an alliance with me, meaning, oh Ethiopia, you do not want to attack me at this point, no. Okay, but on the other hand, yes, they've immediately asked us to come and attack the, Ottomans, which feels like a thing that's not gonna end desperately well for me, but... I mean, the Ottomans definitely wouldn't come all the way over here to, like, do anything to me, right? I'm just going to accept and work under the assumption that I don't really need to get involved, okay? I'm just going to make positive noises and everything will be fine. I like how we're at war with the Ottomans, but we're not 100% sure precisely where the Ottomans are. Like, they're sort of in this direction, but we're a bit fuzzy on the details. Oh, better. Our economy, though, you know, hardly spectacular in the Zambezi trading region, is now big enough that we can start propagating religion, which we are 100% gonna do, because, yes, let's just say it's been, slow going so far. And best of all, I've just finished putting up, yes, trade outposts in basically every territory in my empire that's got any form of harbour. And as a result, the trade in my market is now up to 8.6. Oh yeah. More trade than the Gulf of Aden, more trade than Gujarat, and, ooh, not as much trade as, yeah, we've got over here, but we are definitely one of the bigger, more exciting, sexy markets in the world right now. Like, we're kicking the arse of the Alexandrian markets. Still, with money now pouring in from gold and trade alike, how about we call it a putt there? But next time, okay. I think, yes, we're about to hit an exciting new stage of the game. The moment exploration comes online, yeah, we can start sending conquistadors and explorers in every direction. And then all of a sudden, right, there might just be some exciting new opportunities to move into other bits of the world, access new markets we previously couldn't get into, and, in general, just get ridiculously filthy stinking rich. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been a Europa Universalis 4. Thank you very much, and goodbye. I shouldn't have become friends with him, now I'm sad he's dead, because that's how friends work. I've just started the sexy schism. He was my brother! What? Why would you do that? You were literally the... Oh, he was the heir to inherit everything. Okay, fair enough. That's a good motive, actually. I should have been more suspicious of you.